Check, check, mic, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alrighty then. I think we're live. Hold on. Yep. All right. Yep. Okay. Welcome. Welcome, people. I think now I hear myself somewhere. All right. Baby steps. I'm gonna have to check so that I am live. I am live, and dial it in. Hey guys. I am Darude, or my real name is Ville. I'm in my studio, and I'm going to start doing this Wednesday night dial it in stream. I am here because I want to connect with you guys. I want to connect with you guys, and well, I hope you want to connect with me as well. And dial it in is an apt name for a stream like this. I think we are going to talk about stuff. And I have a WhatsApp number here that I want you to message me to, and it's on the screen. And I am going to go through your messages, talk about them, respond to them, and then maybe I'll even call some of you if you guys are fine with that. So what is going on with you wherever you are? We can start from, are you in Finland? Are you in Sweden, Norway, Poland, US, somewhere in Asia, Australia, South America? Wherever you are on the planet, let me know. And yeah, there we go. I have the phone here that I'm going to start going through messages. A couple of them are here. All right, cool. So, James, you're a star. Thanks for helping me out with this, and the wife as well. You guys are making this possible for me. All right, cool. So somebody that I can't see the name of right now, wow, from Denver says, good morning, really enjoyed the set in Denver a couple of months ago. Oh yeah, that was at church with Annie Moore. It was an amazing night, and I always love coming to Denver, and church is a place where, I don't know, I played so many times, and I always love going there. It's an amazing venue. And thanks for coming to see me. So this is from Mexico City. There's no doubt that you are a DJ who came to stay with the lovers of this beautiful genre. Thank you very much. So I take it that, well, it's enough. DJ, beautiful genre. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm happy if you've listened to one or more of my tracks and found them good. Cool. Washington, D.C. How do I? Oh, I think I just need to add contacts, and then I would see the names as well. Hello from Washington, D.C. I've only been producing seriously for about a year. Have had a couple of releases on small local labels, and I'm starting to wonder whether or not I should have someone else mix my tracks for me. You prefer to do most of it himself. Other suggest hiring somebody. Well, either or. It's really, really, really up to you. Personally, I've done both, absolutely. So I've initially got my start messing around because somebody showed me just a sort of tracker program and a couple of things, and I started just, I wouldn't call it studying, but learning about it myself. Just at that time browsed through music magazines, asked questions from my fellow students then, and some people who were making music themselves, and away I went, just trial and error mainly. But then around 98, 99, well 99 when I was found by my then producer JS16, or who became my producer, I would still call myself very much a hobbyist in the electronic dance music scene. I wasn't even a producer, I was more a noisemaker, and I got so much from J16, who took me under his wing, Jaakko Salovaara, and I wouldn't be here without him, because he helped me. He had more gear, better gear, actual synths and whatnot, studio stuff. He had more skills, more experience, and so he helped me to get my sound on a professional level, get the mixing on a professional level, and he produced and mixed with me and for me for the first 2 albums I've made. Since then, the 3rd album I made, produced myself, but there was a track that I got some help from actually JS still, and Heikki L as well, my dear friends who I produced earlier with. And then I co-wrote a lot of the tracks. So there was a singer or a rapper or another musician. Hold on, I'm sorry. I need to check a message. Who helped me write those tracks, but I produced all of it myself. I also mixed it, all of it, the 3rd album, and then it was mastered by my trusted mastering engineer, Henkka at Chartmakers. The 4th album, sort of the same thing, but I outsourced even more, so I co-produced and co-wrote pretty much, I don't know, 9 or 8 out of the 10 songs that are on the album. And there was 1 or 2 tracks that I had mixed elsewhere, and then the others I mixed down myself and then mastered again by Henkka at Chartmakers. But I know several people who greatly benefit from being only the creative, so produce to like 50 or 70 or whatever % point, and then somebody else produces and or mixes only from there on. So then they can just keep on making those tracks and finding the ideas and melodies and chords, and somebody else gives the polishing touch. It might cost you money, or it might cost you percentage, or whatever you want to do. But then there might be somebody who is not that great at composing, if you are great at that, and they could mix your stuff, and then you could compose with them or for them, so you could maybe trade stuff. So there's no rules, and there's no rule that an electronic dance music producer has to make the whole thing from 0 to 100% themselves. So, yep. All right. So I see messages pop into the phone, which is really cool, and I am going to get more into them. Or maybe I should lay some ground rules. There's a couple of people who have tried to call, and I'm not going to take a call. I am going to call somebody myself at some point, but I'll be reading the messages, taking those there, and then picking somebody from those to call to. Galaxy Gamer. I've met Tala, but I haven't met Tosher, or I don't know how do you pronounce his artist name. All right, cool. So Anthony, oh, that's a good idea, by the way, because I am not able to just all the way add to you or my contacts right away on the fly. So please add your name or your hashtag or screen name into your messages, so I can talk to you by your name. Anthony from England wants to know which one of my Eurovision songs, 3 of them, was my favorite. Well, hands down now, because it so happened Look Away went all the way through to the Tel Aviv show, the contest. That has to be my final favorite, but I like them all very much and they were very different. I would have thought actually that Superman would have been the one that Finnish nation chose, but it was Look Away, and it's great that it was, because it was also written initially by my buddy and the singer Sebastian Raymond. So now we both were 100% in, we're feeling the lyrics, the message 100%, and it was such an amazing thing to be performing and representing a dance music track that has a little bit of a message as well. So I think it went exactly how it was supposed to. Alrighty. All right. I'm going to do this in English. Yeah. Somebody's asking, how do I get all my work done? He's working in creative, or she, in creative work and themselves, and nobody's forcing to do the work. So everything's got to be done yourself. And what are the ways of being disciplined and getting things done? And yeah, that's a good question. Personally, I'm divided a little bit, because being a creative means, at least to me, is that I get ideas all the time. Sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes in the middle of shopping trip, sometimes here and there. And so there's sometimes a schedule hinders you. But what I really like is sort of trying to be a 9 to 5. For me, it's not 9 to 5 exactly, but having a similar schedule every day, weekday, and then weekends, when I'm home, I try to stay more with the family, and my wife luckily also steers me that way, reminds me of that. And just, even if you don't feel creative, it's good to have a routine, especially if you work at home. Still in the morning, take your shower or whatever your routine is, make your coffee, change into other clothes that you slept in, as silly as that sounds, but it means something. If you're somebody who wears makeup, do a little touch or whatever. Do your hair, or think of going to work, or think of going outside the house. Or even if you are going outside the house, but it doesn't matter what you look like, just still do something. And I'm not talking about appearances, but change something that you don't normally have when you're just lounging around. And then when you go to the studio, just try and figure out, is it half an hour or an hour of anything and everything you need to do, social media wise and email wise and admin wise. Just do that. It might be more, it might be less, or it might be your Monday and the rest of the week is creative, or it might be an hour every day, whatever it is. But you have to put like some blocks, and then when that time runs out, then start doing a creative thing. If your creative thing you're not feeling that day, personally, I'm not worried about writer's blocks or not feeling something like that, because I am always behind on my emails and numerous admin things that I can always pick up. So for me, the greatest feeling is that I get something done, something meaningful. So even if I didn't get a track done or didn't find a melody or whatever right now today, I can still, you know, X out some emails or phone calls or, oh, I have 1,000 samples. Well, that's not necessarily creative, but I go through them and decide if I like them or not, if I'm going to use them or not. And then I go through those 1,000 samples, and if I save 10 of them were great that I'm going to use later, 90% of those delete. That's an accomplishment for me. So whatever you do, do something that always sort of furthers your creation. If it's, you know, if you're, I don't know, in painting or in Photoshop or in you know, magazine layout or whatever, do something that makes your actual job easier or quicker the time you actually get into the creative mode. I don't know. Hope that helps. Hey, Anoop. So 2004 and 5, you were 17 and you were listening to Sandstorm then. Well, awesome. We've come a long way. Hey, Kendra from Cali. All right, cool. Let's all right. Hi, Jamie from UK and Mighty Rider. Yeah, sorry, UK. Cool. Hi, greetings. And we can actually hit that so we can have the chat there as well in the window. Okay, we're gonna try something right quick.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Who am I talking to? And this is Darude, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
All right, who are you, man?
Thank you for...
Where are you?
I'm from Morocco.
All right. And what you doing right now?
Yeah, and thank you. I didn't expect that.
Well, in this show, expect the unexpected.
Yeah, you're recording this, yeah.
It's going on a live stream, yeah.
Yeah, I know, in Twitch.
Yes.
I always watch your videos and stuff.
Awesome, man.
And I love your... Yeah, the world love your song.
Oh, thanks, man.
Sandstorm, of course. And I just want to talk to you, and that's like a dream come true.
Oh, come on, man. Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. So, do you have
Yeah,
anything? Do you have anything specific you want to ask me? You got me right now, right here.
Yeah, I know. That's unbelievable. I'm just nervous, and you can hear my voices.
Don't be nervous, dude.
Yeah, I talked to you like in a live video on Instagram someday. I don't remember. And yeah, I just want to ask you something. If you could follow me on Instagram, just this.
If I could follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, just a simple thing.
So
that's good. Make my.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. You shoot me another message with your Instagram handle, and
it's like it's Fiasco.
Yes, please shoot the in the WhatsApp so I can get it right, and I will check out your Instagram later, man.
Yeah. Yes, you could do this.
All right. How
Oh,
how are you doing with the lockdown? What is it like where you're living?
yeah, it's like the rest of the world. It's yeah, I'm pretty used to this because you know, we are music producers and
Yes.
we all used to stay at home and make stuff done. But yeah, it's a little bit boring, but this is going to be uh, I don't know. Yeah, how are you doing in Finland?
I'm doing pretty good. Knock on wood. I have been, and my family has been, pretty in good health,
Uh,
and
yeah,
we are doing our best to socially distance each other physically from other people. But this dial it in, for instance, for me is personally, but also, of course, for like the root side of me is trying to keep in touch with people and trying to give people some content,
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. That's what I love about you.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. There's, you know, our son is 10 years old and we have a 2-year-old daughter, and so
Yeah, yeah. I saw the video last day,
yeah.
maybe yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, so the homeschooling is interesting and all kinds of changes, but I think we're working out the little kinks, and actually this is like, is it the second or third week now? So we're doing all right, and well, and also there's really kind of not much we can do about it, so we have to be doing okay, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
And thank you for your time, man.
Not a problem. I thank you, and
Yeah.
just check back here and there, man, and send me the Insta handle, so I'll check
Yes.
you out.
Yeah. I just ask you this, like, because I'm trying to get my music career seriously, and if a guy like you follow me, just like make my whole life a little bit better.
All right. Well, that's an easy thing to do. Make your life a little
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Take care.
Take
I will
care.
send you the name.
All right. You do that. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Doom. Cool. All right, guys. You know what that was? That was the first. That was the first ever dial it up fan phone call, or whatever you want to call it. That was interesting. I think we're going to do another one. Let's see who this is. All right. Let's see.
Yo,
Yo, who am I talking to? This is Darude.
this is Adam from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Adam, what's going on?
Oh man, I'm a university student, so I had to. I was going to stay at my university as long as I could because I wanted access to what we had on campus and the few friends I had there still.
Okay.
And eventually, when I found out that I was going to have to move residence halls to let the one I was living in be used for medical staff potentially,
Oh, me.
I was at that point. I just said I'm going to suck it up and make the 12-hour drive home by myself instead.
Okay.
So yeah, now I'm here,
Okay. Well,
barely unpacked,
yeah.
a week and a half in now.
All right. Getting on everybody's nerves, or are they getting on your nerves? No.
I
yeah.
to be home.
Yeah. So how's your general atmosphere where you are? So you are now in Houston, or?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
in Houston.
Okay. Cool.
Rural Missouri seemed pretty good, but
Yeah.
yeah, and
All right.
I don't know, because I guess everyone else in the chats didn't see the message that I sort of described.
Yeah.
Those nights I had with friends, because our spring break was after our first week of online, which just sort of broke my flow.
Okay.
And nights of staying up 4 in the morning,
All right.
possibly to sunrise. Had Sandstorm on loop because that's what we would do.
Yeah. Okay. So,
It connects all of us.
all right. So you can't hold me responsible though for staying up that late. It's not my fault. Oh, I just.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a little bit of a sort of selfish question, but have you ever come to see me play?
Despite listening to a whole lot of music, I've not actually ever seen any artist in person. I'm not a festival concert goer.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Though it's something that's been considered.
Okay.
And if once the world starts turning and people start playing live, I might think about it.
All right, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, it's all good. People like different things.
Yeah.
I might get crushed for this, but to be honest, I really like playing clubs and festivals, but I really don't go out that much on my off time. I don't necessarily find crowded places that attractive when I'm home because I do that so much myself. So I get to hear the music and I get to have a great vantage point, but it's quite rare that I would be in the crowd myself.
Huh.
But I got to tell you though, I had an amazing experience last, must have been July. I've got two great friends, Kimmo and Anssi, and our wives are amazing. They got us a Metallica VIP package in Finland, or for a Finnish show in Finland last July, and we went there. And then we actually got the Snake Pit tickets, or like entrance passes, as we were at the VIP. So us sort of, well, I wouldn't say older men, but definitely myself, not being exactly the typical metal fan, although I've liked Metallica all my, adult life really. We were there going nuts, pretty much as close as, having James Hetfield's sweat on us, and that was amazing. So live concerts can be amazing, but I need to do it in a controlled manner and not that often, maybe myself in the crowd.
Huh.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Sounded like that was a good time. Yeah, very cool.
It was awesome. Anything particular you want to say to people listening or watching the stream, or do you have any advice or questions? Either or.
I guess the main thing I would say is keep in contact with your friends. Don't be afraid to give them a call.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You got to stay connected during these times. Stay strong mentally.
Yep. I agree.
It's rough not being with friends now.
Yeah, agreed, man. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna let you go. Next time,
Yep.
if you're in Missouri or if you're in Houston and I'll play somewhere close by, get in touch with me. Tell that you were the second ever dial-it-in caller, and I'll get you in for free.
Oh wow,
Is that a deal?
very cool. Yes, definitely.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Awesome. All right.
Have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too, man. Talk to you later.
I've got a class at the hour.
All right.
Woo-woo!
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. All right. What do we have? I was thinking I had an amazing sound that I could just... All right, so in chat. Oh, Jetliner. Hey, Adam. A passionate fan from Tampere, Finland. How did I choose this career path. And are my DMs in Instagram open for something, asking something in there? Well, I do have DMs open in Instagram, and I sometimes do go through them, but there's so much stuff that comes there and so many other places that it is not my primary channel, but they are read though. But so my career path, I'm going to change there. My career path chose me pretty much. So I've always been into music. I always loved sounds and I was interested in them. But then I never really studied, and I'm not blaming anybody, anything like that, but my parents, like my mom actually was, or is musical. She was playing, I believe it was the clarinet in like a city orchestra, but then stopped that at some point, and then later on my brother he's like a karaoke champion in Finland. For real, my mom sings karaoke and is like a karaoke host actually. My sister's pretty good at singing. I suck at singing, and I never practiced piano, keys, guitar, anything. So I never really thought when I was a kid growing up that I'd be a professional musician. But I always loved music, and I always was the one who had like mixtapes recorded from radio or compiled from other people's CDs or whatever. And every time we went to the party, it became more and more clear at some point, like at, me being 14, 15, 16, 17, high school and upper elementary and high school, where people started asking me like, hey, are you coming? Are you bringing music and blah, blah. And I would definitely not call myself a DJ at that point. But I just brought music and put a CD on and played it, or a mixtape. And then only when I was like close to 20 years old, there were a couple of classmates of mine when I started studying at new school in Turku, Finland, at the telecommunications department at the Turku Polytechnic, who showed me tracker programs and other stuff like that. And then I all of a sudden realized that even though I wasn't great at playing live keys or anything else, if I heard something, I could somehow figure out the notes. I could somehow figure it out and get stuff out of my head onto keyboard, onto different sounds and samples and whatnot. And all of a sudden, the next few years went by sort of me being probably quite unfun, because the only thing I was doing at clubs, events, even just cars, when music was playing, I was analyzing. I was like, the hi-hat goes like, and then the kick is like, and the bass lines, whatever. I started hearing layers of the music, and then I started applying what I heard and learned to my own stuff. And literally still, in '99, I made music for a couple of years, but I never realized I would ever be on a professional level. But then I met JS16, there was a third demo I handed to him, and he called me back and asked me if I wanted to connect with him, and then he suggested one of the tracks that was a demo of Sandstorm was actually what he was interested in and piqued his interest, and he asked if I wanted to be his label 16-inch Records first artist signing. He was just starting a record company, and I was like, okay, yeah. And we went to the studio together, his studio, and reproduced Sandstorm. With his help, the sound was better and mixing was better and everything. And boom, from a totally unknown, totally not even a producer really, to a released name with a #1 single, first in Finland and then elsewhere. I went in just a matter of literally a couple of weeks and couple of months. And then, there was late '99, and by summer 2000, I was touring outside Finland and whatnot. And I just went with it. So the whole long story here is I didn't choose to be a musician. I didn't choose to be a producer. I followed my passion, and when it happened, luckily I wasn't dumb enough to somehow stop it or whatever, but I just went with it. And then because of the track became so big, and then also second and third single, Feel the Beat and Out of Control, in the first album, there was so much interest in Finland and outside that the bookings just kept coming, and I just was like, I'm gonna do it all. I was not married. I was dating around the time as well, but I was not married. I didn't have kids, so I was sort of quite free to come and go however. And so I just did every gig that I could, and basically with that was able to create a name, create an interest in rebookings as well. And second album, third album, fourth album later, I'm here and I'm very happy with my life, and now a little more experienced, I think, smarter hopefully, and I'm not doing every gig I'm offered, but I'm still doing a good healthy amount, 40 to 80 actually each year, and got amazing family, wife and kids, and who are keeping me grounded and also sane, and allow me to do this still. So that was the long explanation. Somebody tried to video call me. I am not going to take calls. I will be making a couple of calls here and there, and I'll be checking through the messages. You can get an autograph if the next time I'm playing somewhere live near you and you come there and ask me for it. Yeah, Abby, no problem. Cool. Can I listen to your demo? I can, but not right now. Sorry, I'll have it saved here then. And I'm not 1000% sure I'll get back to you soon, because I honestly have quite a lot to do, and other people's demos are a thing that I want to have time for as well, but I have to prioritize some of my stuff. I do, though, have an idea of taking demos and checking them out on a stream as well, and maybe perhaps developing some of them if that goes well. Chris from Scotland, what has been my favorite live set ever? All right, actually, you know what? Hey, we're gonna do this. Chris, I think it was. Chris from Scotland. Come on, dude, pick up. Oh man, Chris, dude. Okay, later then. Okay, moi Celia. Hello Celia. I hope you understand this in English as well. You're asking if if I got another chance to go do the Eurovision Song Contest, would I? And I think that's a really valid and good question, and I'm thinking no at this point, but never say never though. If Sebu came with me, he would very well twist my arm and we would do it again. But it's such a big undertaking though. It took us from the first phone call and then a couple of weeks and then figuring out songs to the May contest in Tel Aviv. It took us like 8 or 9 months. And I couldn't do my regular touring, and I had to do 3 songs of production, full production, and go through like 30 or so ideas and pre-produce some of that stuff. So it took a lot of time out of my normal routine and doing it with the Finnish crew, with the UMK crew, and doing it with everybody involved was amazing. Getting to do the Tel Aviv, Israel thing was amazing, but it might be one of those once in a lifetime things. So briefly in Finnish. Silja, jos mä saisin uuden tilaisuuden, niin voi olla, että varsinkin jos Sebu tulisi munkaan uudestaan, mutta sitten siinä on todella paljon töitä. Menee 7-8 kuukautta aikaa, kun tekee biisejä ja sitten promoo. Ja sitten mä jouduin laittamaan mun omat jutut aika paljon jäihin siinä kohtaa. Niin sitten saattaa olla, että mä miettisin aika pitkään ennen kuin lähtisin uudestaan. Kiitos. Hyvä kysymys. Good question. Oh no. Come on. This is an old phone, so my... Okay, cool. All right, rock on, whoever sends that. Please do a gig in Singapore. Triadi official. I was in Singapore. I played at the Silla V a few months ago. All right, and that's... Cool. All right. So Fiasto, yep, I got your message, man. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's see. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you very much.
All right, so you had something you wanted to tell Rob.
Oh, yeah. Rob's a great guy. He's been a close friend of mine for a couple of years now. Met him through Twitch.
Yeah.
I just want to tell him he's a remarkable guy, and, you know, with everything that's happened with him, man, like, I don't know how he does it. I wish I had his perseverance. He's just such a great guy, and, like, he looks out for everybody. Really is a really cool guy.
Yep, I sincerely agree, and I feel privileged to have become friends with him. So Rob,
Yeah,
we salute you, bro, and he's helped me tremendously with just sort of inside or behind the scenes stuff about Twitch and the community, and also obviously he's modding my stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I very much appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. He knows quite a lot about Twitch. I mean, I met him through Twitch for a different stream many years ago.
Yeah.
And we've always been in contact. But, you know, sometimes far and in between, but we're always there. You know,
Yeah.
I always ask him how he is. He never complains.
Yeah.
Never heard the guy complain once, so.
I know, man. I know. Cool. So, where about in UK are you?
Well, originally I'm from Liverpool, but I live now on the northeastern side of the UK in Middlesbrough.
Oh, Middlesbrough. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of my biggest gigs ever was in Middlesbrough.
Right, nice.
Thing called I think One Big Sunday back in early 2000s, and
You can hear my kids in the background. I apologize.
it's okay. There was I believe it was like 80,000 plus people, and it was like kind of looked like golf greens or whatever, like just people as far as my eye could see. And you know what? One of the craziest experiences I've or wonderments, so to say, was where I played my set after Jerry Halliwell, by the way. And so the people was already obviously hyped up, and then I played Sandstorm, and when the big build-up comes and then the drop comes, people started jumping. And then I was thinking like, man, people in Middlesbrough are dumb and have no rhythm. Let me explain. I know they're not dumb and they do have rhythm, but because the distances were so far and so long, the sound travels at different times. And I literally, there were so many people and such a like 300, 400 meters or whatever it was, I don't even know. It was like lengthwise, the crowd. So I saw them jump as a wave. And this is mind-boggling to me. And you know, I'm on stage and I'm just like collecting my jaw thinking what is going on, because it just looked weird and I couldn't figure it out while I was playing. Do you know what I mean? And then just after I'm like walking down off the back steps of this huge stage and I'm like, oh, okay, now I got it. But it was so strange.
It was strange to see. Yeah, I can imagine so.
Cool. All right, and I hope you guys, you and yours, are doing well in this lockdown thing, and you're staying safe.
Oh yeah, we are. We're doing awesome. Like I think everyone in this ceremony, like a lot of people said, is always contact your loved ones, your friends, you know, your family, and make sure they're doing okay, because not a lot of people can cope with being indoors all the time. They like to be out. So, you know, anyone out there who is feeling a bit down, reach out to your family or your friends, you know, talk to someone.
Yeah.
Get these feelings out there. You know?
Yes. And I mean, in Finland, this is, mind you, this is in Finland. So we are allowed to go outside and we are allowed to, say, go jogging or walking our dogs and whatnot. Just we need to remember to keep the distance when we see other people. And I mean, if you're on the other side of the road and there's a person, your neighbor, the other side of the road, of course you can say hi to them quick and so on. Just remember to not get in people's faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree with that myself.
And even the you know 2 minutes with your neighbor or just waving hi and seeing them and being kind of acknowledging that we're in this together, even that can help you that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Thanks for this and stay safe.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. An absolute honor to actually get a call from you, man. Like, I'm shocked, to be honest.
All right. Well, cool. Don't be shocked. It can happen.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, yeah. Right.
I'll talk to you later, man. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. All right. What else do we have? Jonathan from Detroit. I highly doubt anything show-wise is going to be happening in July. Maybe for you, but definitely not for me. If things go as they're going now. Unfortunately, of course, that is. And I would love to connect with my man KT again, obviously, and play the same show. But what we're gonna do bookings-wise right now is just calmly wait, and then when the quarantines start being lifted, basically everywhere, not just say Finland or not just US, but everywhere, we need to look at how it is really working out, what's going on, and then I'm gonna start being rebooked by my agents. And my agent Sleeping Giant will be happy to discuss with you as well, obviously. And I've played in Detroit many times and love the party people there. So obviously, if that's in the cards, let's do it. Gunek from Istanbul, Turkey. Am I happy with my experience at the Eurovision Song Contest? Yes, absolutely. It was amazing. I am going to make myself some tea, guys. Or coffee, actually. Eurovision Song Contest was a crazy cool experience, and unfortunately I didn't qualify to through the semis. I was in the semifinals and didn't get to the final, but hey, that's life. I should have though. And thanks for the compliments. Oh, visit Balkan sometimes. I definitely should. All right, who do we have now? Let's see. Boom. Grizzly WA. It's the ship. Yeah, that was fun.
Hello.
Hello. Who am I talking to?
Hi. Mario.
Hey,
from
Mario.
Switzerland.
What's going on in Switzerland tonight?
Nothing much. I'm just chilling at home alone and just watching your stream.
Okay. Well, hey, are you waving? I know you feel silly home if you're waving there alone, but I'm alone in my studio and waving at you.
Yes.
Yes. What's your favorite kind of music, man?
To be honest, yeah, how do I say? I can't really tell the difference between each genre, but I would say just electronic house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That, I mean, fair
But
enough.
like, there are so many different genres, and I don't know exactly which is which, but
Dude, so I've been making music for, what, 25 years? Oh, well, longer than that, yeah. Something like that. And I've been professional musician, electronic dance music producer, and I still don't, I mean, and I don't want to actually categorize every single bit because I think it's irrelevant. Technically, if you listen to my sets, you will hear maybe not deep house, but something deeper house type of stuff, but then also almost like electro house, could be EDM, like festival, hands in the air stuff, could be progressive trance, could be uplifting trance, but it doesn't matter when the it doesn't matter when the music moves you in some sort of way. If you can shuffle it in the middle of a set somehow in a weird but cool way, you could mix in a rock track with trance and it would still, you know, get the crowd going, or even more so. So the categorizing sometimes I think is a hindering factor too if you think about it too much.
yeah, like I don't know which genre I listen to, but I just have the songs I like, and
Yeah.
it's not that important.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
are you a gamer? Do you play games? Like,
yeah, but I'm more like of a noob gamer. Like playing, for example, PUBG on iPad, but that's not really gaming. So.
well, you know what? I'm not a gamer really at all myself. I look at the screen here in the studio enough hours a day, and then if I want to continue that, I normally don't want to be actively doing that, i.e. I'll, just watch Netflix or something else and just, take it easy. And so not really my thing either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually started producing like 1 year ago, I guess.
Okay.
But I bought the FL Studio then, but I have a own little apartment where I live from Monday till Friday because I have a bit longer way to go to work, so I stay in the apartment and I'm only able to produce on the weekend, so my progress is very slow. So.
Yeah, okay.
But that's also the problem. I don't even know what I want to produce, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating because it takes really long time to learn stuff. And
it does take a long time, but you know what? My best advice there is that it's the journey. That's the important thing too. Like, it's not only that you get a track done, but every track I make there's still discovery all the time. Like you find new sounds, you find new ways to mix, you find new, I don't know, whatever tricks, and then you can reuse them next time, but you can use them differently. And after 20, 25 years, I still learn every time. And for me, in the morning or whenever I come here, but just sitting down here and starting messing around, that's where I'm sort of happy. And then I'm even more satisfied if that actually leads to a track or part of the track that, got me somewhere forward with the track. Don't be too hard on yourself.
And now there is not much to do, as you can imagine. And I was like sitting every day, but then I just get tired because I can't get anything done. And
yeah. Sometimes I find myself think about it too much. So I'm creating these barriers or creating expectations that are just silly, that you should just do stuff. And then I think one of the things about electronic production is that you can forever keep tweaking these days, because you can save a project and then come back to it. You should sometimes just decide that now I'm going to get the track done. If you don't have like a full melody, for instance, yet, just make a space for it time-wise. Like make the arrangement so that you have your verse and then a pre-chorus and chorus, or whatever type of music you make, or however you make it, then a little drop down or breakdown, and then build up, and then a chorus again. Make it look like a track, even if it didn't have the main melody yet, or even if it's missing something else, and then fill in the gaps, but make it look like a finished product, and just work on it sort of systematically. I have a list to do, and usually after a session I quickly glance through the list and I add some stuff, doing a final listen through, and I decide that I'm not going to touch it anymore at that time, but I just make those notes, and then I let it simmer, be it the next day or the next week when I come back, and then I have maybe formed some ideas while not even working, but sort of it's just in the back of my head been brewing.
Yeah, and sadly I'm not that creative in creating melodies, and I think if you are creative with making melodies, then it would be only a matter of time, I think, when you can create a nice, you have the knowledge of the program, but I can't even make a nice melody in my head by just humming or something.
Well, I felt so too at some point, but I just have something looping, a sound or some drum beat or whatever, and then I start hearing things sort of in it, and then I just try to get them. Then I just kind of try to get them out. Sometimes they come out as I hear them, sometimes they don't, but then it doesn't matter as long as I get something out. But yeah, hey, cool, man. Let's hope that you guys and everybody else stays safe, and I'll keep plugging through these questions here.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Very cool. All right, somebody was asking, is this stream just a talk stream or production stream? So Opus Mind, that's you. This one is just, if you want to call it, just a chat stream. And what I have here is I have my phone with a WhatsApp number that you have on the stream screen on the lower left corner, and you can text me a message, and I'll pick people here and there, and I'll do a little quick call with you. And then my usual or starting regular times are as follows. On Monday, I believe it's 4 p.m., but that's to be confirmed. 4 p.m. a production stream. Wednesdays is going to be this dial it in chat thing, if you guys like it. And then on Fridays, we're going to start at 6 p.m. As on Wednesday, 6 p.m. finish time, and then the times are whatever they are then around the world. Mornings in the US and so on. And yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern whatever summertime or Helsinki time, look it up. Pacific time is 9 a.m. and yeah. So Friday there'll be Sandstorm Balcony Jam in Finland starting at 6 p.m. and then I'll DJ after that, and then I might play an extra one here and there, but those 3 are now what we've locked in: Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and 4 p.m. finish time, 6 p.m. finish time and 6 p.m. finish time. Cool. Cool. Somebody says, this is awesome, but please don't call me. Well, I won't then. That was funny. All right, so Jason from Sydney, I remember you, man, and your lady, Mandy. What tracks of mine have 12-inch vinyl mixes? So the first 2 albums for sure had the singles as 12-inch vinyl with various remixes. On Label This, my 3rd album, I don't think we did vinyl at that point anymore. That was 2007-8. And then on my Moments album in 2015, we definitely didn't do vinyl anymore. So on the first 2 albums, you should find vinyl ones. Did I ever DJ with some of those rare vinyl classic trance tracks from the 90s? I never did. I wasn't a DJ in the 90s, not even early 2000s. I started doing live shows first and production before that. Have I collected much vinyl along the way? No, not really. I mean, I have a bunch of promos from other DJs and labels, but no, I didn't really collect it because I was actually going after CDs very early on, because when I started actually DJing, I used CDs. But hey, Jason, thanks for getting in touch. I remember you guys. I hope everything is good in Sydney. Am I still chasing the mainstream level of fame you were in early 2000? If not, what do you miss about it being the mainstream? I don't miss anything about it being the mainstream, if you mean it by, the times were different. Trance stuff, or whatever, trancey kind of stuff, and then it became quite popular and popified as well. It's sort of the same thing that happened with maybe EDM or maybe house, progressive house and trance later on, like 2010 and so on, where a sound became sort of big in the mainstream for some reason, even though, for instance, Sandstorm is not really a mainstream pop record like song. If you listen to it from different ears, from production and sound wise, it was quite the underground or quite a hard track, quite a club track, but it became a radio hit. But similar thing, in my opinion, happened to a lot of the housey stuff. And today, if you listen to a lot of, like, say, Martin Garrix or Swedish House Mafia or whoever has gotten really big, a lot of the songs, and I'm saying songs, a lot of the tracks are very much song-based. So the song is written first, there's verse, pre-chorus and chorus, and then it's produced with an electronic dance music sound and production style. So that's, there's still both. There's electronic dance music, as in the long extended club versions that some people find even boring. And then there's the short versions that use the same sounds but are made in a very much a pop format. And similar thing, maybe in a smaller way though, but happened with trance as well back then, in my opinion. And if I miss anything about it, not really. Times change and I've evolved, and I don't make, early 2000s trance exactly myself either. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. And I would love to have huge hit records and money pouring in and whatnot more than I get now, but I get by really well, except lockdown times doesn't seem great right now. But so I've got enough gigs and, you know, I'm doing all right. So that's not it. But again, times are different, and I wouldn't mind if my gig fees had another zero after them, or if I streamed instead of a million or two, you know, couple of gazillion with all of my releases. So, you know. All right, hold on. Missouri Cat. Oh, cool. Imagine Festival in Georgia, and we took this picture. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I told you that I was happy to take a break and spend time with my family. Yes, that's true. And nothing's really changed since the COVID crisis or since that. But it's just, I love hanging out with my family. But when this is 24/7 and say in practice, for instance, my dear son can't go see his friends whenever he wants to, and he's not at school, you know, 4 to whatever hours a day, 6 hours a day. So then he's home all the time and being in the same house, as you guys know, with people who normally are active and going into places and, you know, crossing paths X hours a day, but way less, you know, it's challenging. So family time, though, has been very nice. And once we've now sort of settled in this routine, it's not that bad, but it is obviously bad for so many people financially and also for some people mental health wise too. It's not easy. Mo Caterino, am I touring as soon as this pandemic is over? I'm touring whenever the pandemic is over to a point where it is safe for everybody, myself and the fans, and also so that it's sort of gone and low risk enough so that people actually do want to come out, and so that I can have gigs booked where I don't have to reschedule them again, because I think that would be even worse if my agents and festivals or clubs and the artist jumped in too early and booked dates and then would have to cancel again. All right. So, next one. All right, let's see, who is this? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Moro!
Moi!
Hei, miten kuuluu?
Ihan hyvä kuuluu. Who am I talking to? Can we do it in English?
Yeah, totally. Actually, you just responded to the question that I asked on Facebook. It's Mau.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going really well. I was so weird I just randomly picked your number then.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I see there's some kind of lag between the Facebook and the WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
there absolutely is. There's I don't know. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, 10 something seconds at least of
Okay.
stream lag basically. So.
Yeah, I got it.
My apologies for that, but I cannot
No,
help
it's all
with that.
good. It's all good.
But
It's all good. It's all good.
where are you?
Oh, I'm here in Maryland, man.
All right.
You know, like what, like 10 minutes from? No, not 10 minutes. Like 30 minutes from DC.
Okay.
I've seen your 2 shows in the last couple of years, and yeah, we miss you, man. When are you coming next?
Well, yeah. When am I coming next? I do not know, and I have an American agent that has done really well bookings-wise for me, and I am going to try my best as soon as it's safe to come back again and open my dates for them, of course, as well as my other agent elsewhere. So, yeah.
Are you still working with Brian?
With Ryan, yeah, Ryan, Ryan's my manager,
cool guy.
but then I have the booking agency is called Sleeping Giant Music.
Oh, so it's two separate things. Okay.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, Ryan handles a lot of my scheduling and what it comes to interacting with the agents and stuff like that, interacting with buyers and i.e. promoters.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I asked because like the last couple of tours you have not been back to DC, and I'm like, oh man, come on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I always sort of laugh when artists go to the social media and ask people like, hey, where would you like me to come play next? Well, sort of it's a valid question, but sort of it is a moot point because the artists' booking agents book them in most cases where the demand is. So it's very rare at a, you know, to be fair and not to put myself down and not to put anybody else, you know, on a pedestal, but somebody like Armin van Buuren, for instance, he's so big and they are arranging like full arena events or something like that. They can maybe decide in which order they do the cities and whatnot because they're doing a lot of the stuff themselves and similar organizations. But most DJs have booking agents who just send out an open thing to all the clubs that they visited before and who they want to visit the first time and say like, hey, our artist Darude or this and that is available. Do you want to book them and when? And then when the requests come in, yes, we want to book them or him, her, whoever. And then it's a matter of timing, logistics, money, obviously the fee is important at some point in a negotiation, and then it's kind of not luck, but it's kind of random which city I go and when. I want to play, you know, I want to play DC for sure, but it's more like when.
But your numbers were not bad in Downstage, right? I mean, there was like quite a lot of people.
Yes, absolutely,
especially the last time.
Yeah, but it's the thing where a lot of times I tell somebody like you, for instance, hey, go to your local favorite club and tell the promoter that you want me to come play there. And then tell your friends to do the same thing so that the promoter knows that there is a demand, right?
Yeah, you know, there is I told you about it on the comments some time ago. There is a very popular place in Maryland, in Baltimore, called Power Plant Live, and they have like a huge stage. They have had nice DJs and everything. Okay. And I talked to them, and I was like, hey, you know, there's this DJ who always plays in DC and stuff like that. If you guys play in Baltimore, you know, people from DC is gonna come here anyway. Just like people from Baltimore goes to DC, and they were like, okay, who's this guy? And I'm like, it's Darude, you know. And they're like, who? I'm like, I got so pissed, man. I was like, you know what? Never mind. I was like, never mind.
did they go, da who?
Yeah, but that's the part. Like, for example, like someone like an agent will wait more than me. You know, that's yeah. Yo, man, I have a question.
Okay, cool. Shoot.
How did it happen that you ended up being on DDR, Dance Dance Revolution? How that happened?
That happened, me not even...
Did you do it, or they ask you?
No, me not even not really knowing about it. It happened because Sandstorm, on some level, started becoming, you know, bigger, like a, you know, hit record in, well, in US, I guess, at that point. And something like that kind of game, or movies, or whatever, they have people who do this music, I don't know what you call it, music casting or whatever. So they were probably just, they liked the track, it has a lot of energy and so on, so on. So then they just contacted my record label and publisher and asked how much it would be and blah, blah, what the terms are, and do negotiations, and it went through.
That's cool.
As an artist, especially at that point, because I was such a beginner, I didn't have any of that knowledge or the contact, so I wouldn't really push that kind of stuff or go after that kind of stuff. And even if I wanted to, or even if an artist wants to, normally they don't own all the rights themselves, so they have
Okay.
They have like a publisher or record company. But you can own all your rights, but for instance, I have a publisher who looks after me, and if there's a legal case, if somebody rips off my track and I want to go to court with them, my publisher has vested interest and they go to court instead of, or in my place, for instance.
Right.
So there's a reason why I, for instance, pay a percentage or give a percentage to like a label
Makes
or a
sense.
publisher. But so normally all of that goes through my publisher or label. And these days I've been around for a little longer, and for instance right now I don't have an exclusive label deal with anybody. So if you look at my last 2-3 years, I've released stuff on Warner Music was the last one on 2015 was Moments album, and then since then there's been releases on Armada and Garuda and on Black Hole. So I'm doing sort of these, maybe not one track, but maybe 1 to 3 track contracts, and then I'm off of that contract, then I can do whatever with somebody else. And
Gotcha.
and I want to keep that way, because then I'm not locked into something for a long time. Then also I'm an established artist, so I can also sort of dictate some of my terms, at least with those labels and with having to do with those tracks and the use of them and artistic decisions and stuff like that.
That makes sense, man. So what happens? So if they will call you right now and say, "Hey, we want your songs," will you'll be like, "Oh yeah, let's do it"?
Yeah, it depends on the song. Some of them actually right now I govern myself, or I govern more myself. But still, if somebody wants my song, whichever song it is, they can come to me. I'll just forward them to the right people. That's no problem, of course. I'm always happy to do that, obviously, and I'm always happy and flattered and honored if somebody wants to use my song in something.
I mean, it's amazing because I didn't even know. Like back then, I didn't even know you were from Finland. I didn't know that JS16 was from Finland, and they were Dance Dance Revolution. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
When I figured that out, I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Cool, man.
And then I saw that JS16 also, he worked with what was the name of these guys?
Bumfunks.
From Bumfunks. That's just amazing, man. I was like, I don't know how Finland does it, but you guys have something for music.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It is absolutely amazing for such a small country, man.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Well, I'm a little biased, but of course I'm with you there. And Jaakko, absolutely, he's a genius.
Yeah, he started actually like his name at 16, right?
Yeah, JS16, that's where it comes from, 16 years. But I don't know if that's when he started DJing or when he started producing music or when he started whatever. But it does come from his JS, Jaakko Salovaara, and 16, the age 16.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Hey, dude, you gotta try this place in DC, Mikko Nordic Fine Food. It's a new place.
Oh.
It's with the chef from the embassy of Finland. He now has his own restaurant.
Oh, okay, cool.
Man, he has stuff. He has lonkero.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And all that stuff.
Nice. Awesome.
Man, you gotta bring some Salmari Koskenkorva to DC next time.
I'll try and remember that. Cool, man. Look, let's.
Right.
I'm gonna tackle some more messages, and thanks for responding.
All right, man.
Cool.
Kiitos.
I'll talk to you later. You too, man. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that's cool. All right, guys. Let's see what else we do. And now I did make some coffee water for myself. Check. Oh, and that too. I don't remember anything. Got to charge my mic transmitter and packs. All right, let's take this one as well. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yes, cool. I was just talking to my dad because he called me and I saw, okay, Darude is calling me. Cool.
Well, all right.
Can-
Who are you? Where are you?
I'm from Romania. My name is Laurent.
Okay.
And yeah, as I see the stream and you're lagging, and on the phone I hear you well, and that's why I'm a bit confused.
Okay. Well, the stream obviously is lagging a little bit, so
Yeah, yeah. So I'm from Romania. I don't know if you know where it is.
I do. I do know where Romania is. I've actually played once, at least in Romania, at is it Adelene Romain? Like this old sort of old outdoor stadium type of thing.
Yeah, and how was the venue called, or what, the city?
The city. So hold on. Now I'm just making myself. Look, I'll check. I can tell you. It was like this old sort of Colosseum-looking thing, but a little.
Yeah, Arenele Romana in
Yeah.
Bucharest. I think
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
not
we
pronouncing
have
it.
two big festivals here in my city, Cluj-Napoca. We have the Untold Festival. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's kind of getting bigger and bigger since 5 or 6 years. We have this Untold Festival,
Okay.
and it's
Well, no, I've heard about it. Yes, it's
It won 2 years ago. It won, no, not 2 years ago. 5 years ago, at the first edition, we won best major festival. So it was really amazing.
Yeah. I've heard about that, and I think I've had my booking agent being in touch with the organizer at some point, and but I haven't done it yet. So hope to do it one day.
Yeah.
So what's going on with your evening?
Yeah, so as I shortly have written to you, I've just got my first track released after 10 years of trying.
Nice. You know what? I'm sorry. I'll let you go in a second for longer, but I just remembered my dear friend and a good, great DJ and great radio promoter, not promoter, but radio personality here in Finland, Orion, said just recently at this workshop thing that I hope that you don't make it in a year. And the students were like, what the hell do you mean? And he said that I hope that you have to bust your ass, and I hope you have to learn and relearn and learn again and learn new things and fail. And then like in 10 years or so, you start getting somewhere, because that's the way how you build the actual musical knowledge and the actual artist character. And obviously he'd be happy if somebody got bigger quick, but then there's very few people who, if they get a shortcut, that they can actually have some sort of sustaining power just by luck.
Yeah, and I think now looking back at it, now I'm agreeing with this advice. It's really the best advice. But when you're young, you're not seeing this.
Absolutely. And I think there's this thing with electronic dance music as well, especially these days, because we have these enormous stars who are banking huge amounts, doing shows and performing for 20 and 100,000 and whatever people, and all of a sudden they are like, the DJs and producers are now superstars, even young ones sometimes. But and there's nothing wrong about that, don't get me wrong, but that has brought it up to the current sort of youth, the idea that it's easy and it's quick.
Yeah.
And nothing good really often is easy and quick. And you also have to have a burning love and desire for what you're doing, whether you get successful and big or not. You have to love that. And I want to be naive and believe that by first loving the thing so much that you just want to do it anyway, that leads to success as well.
Yeah, and sometimes you're getting so frustrated, and that you might get to some point that you kind of, yeah, you're not enjoying that much the music if you put that much pressure on you. Because I was there, and then I said to myself, okay, I don't need to make money out of this. I just need to enjoy it. And if I'm getting yeah, angry about it, then I will not do any music anymore and just leave it.
Yeah,
Because
it's interesting because I get asked a lot about like my advice for young or up and coming producers, and people are surprised because I often they are expecting like, hey, buy this kind of synth or this plugin or this and that. But my first advice is usually don't quit your day job or don't quit your studies or whatever you're doing at the moment.
yeah,
Don't give up everything to become a star in dance music or whatever kind of music, because while it's admirable to be so passionate about something and that you're willing to take the risk and whatnot, that's one aspect that is sort of okay about it. But then the practice is that if you do that and if you're struggling to meet your rent or whatever payment every month, and you
yeah,
always go to the studio with the thinking like, fuck, I gotta make this tune so I can get money.
yeah,
It's so much pressure, and that crumbles creativity. And
exactly.
and whatever you do, you should just, I'll say that if you have a 8-hour day job, use an hour or two in the evening or whatever you have to make music, study making music, and that is better, and you get better results that way than to banging your head against the wall being scared finding the rent money.
Yes, exactly. And I think we kind of need to be aware that, especially in music and arts, a big part of it is really luck, because there are a lot of musicians, and I realize this, that are very, very talented,
Hmm.
and they will never make it because that luck part is somewhere there, and you must know this, I think.
Yeah, I think luck is obviously a thing. I'm not denying luck exists, but I always say that you create your own luck. And
Yeah.
my very simple own experience is in this. When I was a student and I didn't have a lot of money, but I was loving music, I was burning demo CDs, and those would be like the 1x or 2x burners, and it would take a long time, and it would be cumbersome, and it would cost me money. But
Hmm.
I would share those to certain DJs, certain producers, and then send them to a couple of labels. And I didn't count the ones that I didn't get a response from, but I counted that one that got me signed eventually.
And how long did it took
Uh, well,
until?
it was about 3 or 4 years until I actually got some kind of a response, and then about 4 or 5 years until I got signed with JS16's label. And now I gotta jump back a little bit. I said earlier that it often is that when somebody gets a chance, sort of lucky break quickly, that then they might not be able to use it, or it might be just like this quick luck and go down as well. That is, I'm a lucky guy because I got to know JS16 back in the day, and he definitely helped me. I mean, Sandstorm wouldn't exist like you know it without him. So don't get me wrong. I was lucky and I was helped by a lot. But at the same time, the time was different too. It's not exactly like today, and the industry wasn't as big. But anyway, I was like 5 years in, and then because I had such a passion that I can see now looking back, I did. And then when Jaakko helped me and we'd worked together on my music, and he was mentoring me being a DJ and live performer and whatnot, then I was sort of ready to just jump on everything head first. And I was ready for the touring. I loved doing it.
Yeah. So that's really cool that you had somebody to assist you like this.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
if you meet the wrong people, especially in music, you know how it is,
Oh.
especially when unfortunately Avicii died, that was shocking, and you see what can happen, unfortunately. And
Yes.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't meet the right people, you can have the success and this
Yeah.
happens.
Okay.
Because you're not prepared. You're not prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me ask you now, back to your music. What kind of music do you make?
So right now I'm kind of progressive and deep tech, something like this.
Okay.
It's called, I think. And the story is kind of, I started in high school, and now I'm 32. So I started working, and I always worked, then did music. I said, okay, I'm stopping with music. I'm not getting anywhere, and then I always got back to it. I could not stop to get back to it.
Yeah.
And my main struggle was always with music arrangement, because I have a ton of ideas but unfinished tracks. And you kind of said something about this earlier, and it was a good advice that you need somehow to make a song even if you have gaps in it, and that's really good, because that was my main problem. I always had the ideas and I did not finish them because I thought it's shit when I put it together, and I never really showed anyone the music, you know.
Yeah.
And last year, actually, I decided after 10 years, okay, I have this ton of ideas. Let's finish at least 10 tracks, I said.
Okay.
And I only finished 3 tracks. And the feedback, I did not have promotion and anything. And you know how it is without promotion. And so nobody knows you. But I finished 3 tracks. And one of them I sent out to, actually 2 weeks ago, just to, I don't know if you know Ruben Durande from
yes.
Armin van Buren.
Yeah, Statement.
Yeah, Statement, exactly. And he was, oh my God, this track is really good. And I could not believe it. I only finished 3 tracks after 10 years, and I get this amazing, unexpected feedback. So it was, I don't know, I'm still without words that it happened.
Okay.
And I was at the point of giving up, you know.
So is it signed on Statement? Or
so,
where did you release?
Ruben wants to sign it. It has not come out yet.
Okay.
It should come out. So we are now talking to Josh to sign it. Josh to sign it. So it's amazing.
All right, cool, man.
So, and this kind of pushed me now, to say what was in my mind, that I almost gave up. If this feedback would not have come, I would have given up now.
Yes. Well.
But not to make completely music, but with this dream, okay, I will have a track signed, because I would always keep making some music but not finished tracks, you know.
Yeah.
So this is kind of my story. And
awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you got that feedback, because
it's very important to have a feedback. I realize it now, because it can push you.
Yes, it's it is. So you, in your message, you said you would like some advice. Is there anything particular?
Yeah, it's 2 things. One, but you already touched this with music arrangement. How should I get better at it, or what's your advice with music arrangement?
Okay, look.
How did you learn it? How do you finish more tracks?
Okay, so I'll tell you first. I feel personally that I suck at speed, finishing stuff quickly. But I've gotten better over the years, and one thing that has helped me, and mind you, and everybody else listening, I am not saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm saying that to myself, okay? So I'm saying that I needed to start repeating this thing at certain point of my production. You know, the point where you know that the track is about done, but then you can tweak it. You can tweak it as long as you want, that it never gets done, right? So at that point, I started saying to myself that my 90% is better than somebody else's 100%, right?
Okay.
So it means that whenever I get to that point, I could use the last 5 or 10% to get it done, and 90% of the time of that. I could use weeks to do that. But if I just decide and trust that my 90% is better than somebody's 100%, that it's already on par with the production level and so on, then I get to the finish line way quicker. And normally when I work on a track, I don't think now it's 50%, now it's 70%, but all of a sudden I just realize, hey, now I'm at this 90% part, and then I do a little, I allow myself a couple sort of listening and thinking sessions, and then like 1 or 2 sessions of actually working and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta somehow define what's good enough, and that
And do you
doesn't.
listen to somebody?
Sorry?
Do you listen to somebody before you release a track? Okay, this is good for release or
Oh,
not,
absolutely. So what I do is I always have, when I do my final mixing, I have my own tracks and then other people's tracks that I compare to, just A/B compare all the time. And then
Okay.
if I do my, normally I do mastering or have my mastering done by my favorite mastering engineer, Henka at Chartmakers, but I do mastering for my test plays all the time. So when I do my final master of a track or, version that I want to play out, I just compare it to a lot. Like it could be Ruben Aronde's track, or it could be Ashley Wallbridge's, or it could be, it doesn't matter. It's something that I know that sounds good and is in a very similar category and genre than mine, even same key and same BPM maybe. So that then I compare them critically. I listen to the low end, the high end. I listen to where their kick sits, where mine is, blah, blah, blah. Just very...
And you still do this, right?
Yeah,
Really?
every time. Meticulously, every time.
After so long time, it's really
Yes.
interesting.
And then, but then that's about my sort of finishing the song. But here is about arrangement that I... you know Jono Grant? From Above and Beyond.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you check Jono's Twitter, a day or two ago, he gave I'm not going to steal this tip from him, but I do this as well. So he said that if you're struggling to find the arrangement, the same thing that I said about filling the gaps, take a track that is similar to your genre, what you're after, and just put it in your DAW, whatever it is, Logic or Ableton or Fruity or something.
Yeah.
And just beat match it if it's different BPM, and then cut it into 8s and 16s and 32s and whatever you have.
Yeah.
And then compare. Build yours exactly the same arrangement wise. Just like mechanically. You don't even have to listen to the track, other than first listen to it where it cuts to the breakdown and where the drop is. Then cut it. You can even just fully mute it. Don't listen to the music at all, but just see where the parts are, and then just put your kick drums where their kick drums are, so as to make the parts of that ready-made track, and then delete it, and then make your own track arrangement-wise that. And it's obviously it is copying, but it is copying the arrangement. That's not copying music, or it's just, a formula basically for that. If you check out radio edits that are on any big Spotify playlist, they're like 90% are the same basically. So it's that formula that works, and it's that formula that works with dance music. And then if you have, that 5 or 7 minute extended mix that you're modeling after you've modeled it, then you listen to your own track and see if you want to make it 16 longer or 16 shorter or with this and that.
Yes, thanks, man. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And just one more question. Now that I'm at kind of my first release, I know my DAW and I'm learning in DAW and synths and everything. But how much should I invest? What do you think in actual music theory? I'm not sure how to balance it. Okay, I'm learning every day. Okay, things in Ableton and VSTs and everything. Should I also invest more in piano lessons or no? What do you think?
I'm the worst person to give advice in this, because I am self-learned, self-taught in music theory and the somewhat limited piano ability that I have. I'll find my keys and chords quicker and quicker every day, because I'm sort of more methodical with it, and I know how to play some stuff, but I'm not a great live player, and I think that's fair to say. Live playing ability absolutely is good for quickness and for getting stuff out of your head to the DAW, with whatever sound you selected, and then knowing, your minors and majors and diminished this and that, and which go together well. Do you need systematic music theory lessons or teaching? Not necessarily, because you can read about that yourself too, and like stuff like the circle of fifths, and that makes sense if you look at it from mathematical point of view as well, and then you can combine the musicality and mathematics about it as well. I know it, math and music doesn't always sound very good combo, but I think music is all about math, be it tempo or be it time signature or be it relation of the A and C, for instance. So I can't answer your question. If you do take lessons, if you do paid the lessons, or if you pay for a master class or something like that, you're not going to be worse off after that. Absolutely. Take your time and invest money in it. Do you necessarily need it? Not necessarily, but don't take me the wrong way. I highly suggest you do something like that. And one thing is that my son is 10 years old, soon 11, and he's played the piano for 5 years, and he's great with two hands now. He can play arpeggios with the left and melodies with the right and this and that, and he's developing all the time. Dude, I was like over 20 when I first started to learn any sort of playing, kind of. And it comes effortlessly from him. Not all, he's not crazy good at composing yet or anything, but I know it's coming soon when he just sort of realizes that. So he's having 15 years or so ahead of me, basically. And I'm so envious, but at the same time, I mean, stuff turned out well for me, so it's not that,
Yeah.
Cool.
I was curious about your advice, because that's kind of also my idea, that I think I could learn it alone, kind of, and with tutorials and that stuff. I was curious, what do you think about it? Because I feel that if I start taking too much piano lessons, it can also hurt, because you might get too analytical and everything, and I don't know.
That's true, but I would say that just taking piano lessons now at 32, you are not going to get too analytical, because you are going to be utilizing, after sort of every lesson, you figure out a chord change or inversion of this and that. You're going to start utilizing that to your electronic production. And that's what I'd be willing to bet. You start utilizing that more than you spend time playing piano on your free time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
Because, and one more thing about my son. I was quite careful earlier on, like a couple of years ago. I wouldn't let him touch a DAW.
Okay.
So that he doesn't figure it out too early that you can actually make do with bad playing abilities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm okay. We made a track together today here in my studio because he has a school assignment, and we started a cover of Alan Walker's "Faded," and he's played that with piano a couple of years ago, and so he had to sort of relearn that, but it came back to him quite quickly. And but so I didn't want him to learn that you can first record the left hand and then the right hand, and then if you do a mistake you can do it again, because that would give him the wrong idea at 5 years old or 7 years old, right? So I don't know. Anyway, hey, good questions, man. Good talking to you, and hey, congrats on the track. And
Thank you.
Hey, hit me a link when you get it to that point.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And awesome. just one short question: how many years did it take until you released Sandstorm?
About 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years after you started the music production.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, I mean, I started quite late, really. Like 19, 20 years old, and it was 99 when. So when I was, so 96-ish. So and 99, 95, 96 was when I started, and 99, late 99 was Sandstorm released.
Okay, so you were around 26, 27?
I was 24 in 99, yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Of course.
It was really helpful. I will hit you up with the link when it's released and everything, and you have a great community and keep on going.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you a lot.
Later. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was awesome, man. Okay, let's see. There was some questions. What's my favorite coffee? You know what? I don't drink too much coffee anymore, and I didn't drink coffee at all until I was like 42 years old. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. And I drank a good bit a day, but not that much compared to every other Finn. And I've had some sort of stomach issues, nothing crazy alarming, but coffee seems to irritate my gut somehow. So I don't drink too much. I drink sometimes like half a cup of just very basic Finnish coffee. And but this stuff is mushroom coffee. Was this the lion's mane or? Well, actually, I threw it away. Oh no, lion's mane and chaga. And there's a couple of different like mushroom coffees that have like half the coffee and then some of the mushroom stuff that, you know, perks you up a little bit. And it tastes good, and I use honey in it. Okay, cool. Okay, psychedelic mushrooms. No, just regular mushroom coffee that you can buy from a regular store, and yeah, not psych ones. I don't do that stuff. All right, so Chris from Scotland, I'm gonna call you again, dude. Better get it now.
Hey, man.
Chris from Scotland.
Yes.
What's up?
How's it going? I can't believe I missed your call earlier on.
Yeah,
I was just making some food.
Well, you know, I'll take pizza over me anytime.
How's it going?
Going great, and you?
Oh, not too bad. Now I've got some food in my stomach anyways.
All right. And so, please don't take this in any sort of bad way, but so are you just being nice to me with your accent, or is your Scottish accent just somewhat less than some people that I know?
This is real me.
All right.
So a lot of people in Scotland will have a much kind of stronger one, but I'm from close to Edinburgh, so we have quite a weak, I guess, accent.
Well,
so no, this is normal. This is
right.
real me.
Cool. just asking. I'm quite the I don't know. I couldn't necessarily point out accents to, you know, pinpoint them to different cities or sometimes even parts of a country, but I'm very very curious about them, and it's interesting for me. For instance, a relationship with just face and lips versus sound, because sometimes people look at me weird when I stare in their mouths a lot when I talk to, you know, especially Scottish people, for instance, sometimes. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a native speaker myself. My English is good, but sometimes the accents really throw me off. And so sometimes I need all the help I can get. So I'm not a lip reader, of course, but you can, you know, read lips and faces. So it's interesting. That's why I'm asking.
You're lucky. You can speak more than one language. Over here, we're only ever taught English, and that's it, pretty much.
Yeah,
you maybe get.
Yeah, well, yes, Finns are lucky, and our standard of education is really good too with the languages and, well, pretty much everything else as well. I have a funny language story. So, a long time ago, I was in on the road in Australia, and the free days, like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, between the weekend touring, I spent in Gold Coast in Surfers Paradise, where my then booking agent was based, and we were lodging there. And this one time, same time I was touring, these crazy bastards from UK and I believe Scotland, ultrasonic, i.e. Operation Blade was their track,
Right.
Public Domain. So Malaka,
Oh, yeah.
Lee, and David Forbes, and oh man, why am I not? Oh man, Mark Sherry were there. And so on our down days, we would sometimes hang out together. And this one day we went to do the Australian Barbie thing on the beach, and that was
Oh,
all
yes,
fun.
of
And
course.
we got a little bit of refreshments there. And so then my tour manager, then Tiny, took us to see something cool. I think we went like, there's like a rainforest type of thing. And I was sitting in a back seat in the middle, and I had two Aussies. Only two other guys were with us, but two Aussies in the front and two Scottish guys in the back. And around 2001, my English was okay, but I haven't really been in that kind of situation. So I was just playing tennis, looking left, right, up, down, front, back, and I could not understand a single freaking word. And that was a fun car ride. And the guys obviously are nice, and I didn't give them shit. Obviously, I couldn't. I was alone among 4 native speakers, but it was just so interesting. Like, I remember Mallorca tried to tell a story about fishing, so lures and
Right.
hooks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yes.
and I was like, what fashion? What do you mean? Like, you've been a fashion model? Because he was saying it like, fashion, something. That was one of the
Oh,
things
right,
that
yeah.
I just did not get it. The longest time I'm listening to the guys talk, and it's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how do you catch something when you're doing a fashion thing? Like, it's
Yeah.
just so strange.
That's
But
crazy. Some
cool.
people in Scotland, there's so many different dialects, and the different words that they use. Like, for example, there's the city where I go to university. You can walk into like a bakery,
Mm-hmm.
and you can ask for clapes and an inging and a, which is two pies and an onion one also,
Okay.
and they'll understand you.
All right. Nice.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. So how's the lockdown going for you?
It's not too bad. Over in the UK, obviously, I've been stuck in the house for about 2 weeks now. We're allowed out once per day for exercise, but apart from that, yeah, it's been kind of boring.
Oh, hey, sorry, I am not into politics at all, but there is a politician that everybody's watching now. How is Johnson doing? Do you know?
I've heard he's still in the intensive care at the moment, but he's getting better.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't think he's everyone's favorite politician. I'm not getting into politics.
No,
but,
I understand
it's good.
that, but politics aside, we're talking about human beings here, so.
Yeah. No, it's good to hear he's getting better. Obviously, every person you want to hear that they make it out all right.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear he's getting better.
Yeah, I haven't had time today to check the news really at all, so. Well,
Yeah, that's the latest I've heard.
Yeah, that's good news that he's getting better. He's definitely a character, though.
Oh man, some people hate him, some people love him, and there seems to be no kind of in between.
Yeah,
he's that kind of guy.
I get that. I am not going to DJ music tonight, but if I played one track, it doesn't have to be mine. Which one would you like to hear?
Ooh. Do you know Todd Turgey? Inspector Norse?
I do not. That's
okay.
my apologies to you and to that.
I do. If you put in Inspector Norse, you will find it. Norse, Inspector Norse. That is one of my favorite tracks.
I'm gonna write it down then. Inspector Norse.
Thank you so much, man. It's great to talk to you.
Likewise. Okay, so. You know, I'm taking a huge risk, though. Anyways, if I would play to something like that, because I don't know what you're sending my way. All right,
Go for it. Or put on any of your songs. I really, honestly, any of your songs would be great.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Anything you want to say to anybody?
Shout out to my boys, Martin, Adam, Harry, Jacob. Just I can't believe I'm actually on a live stream. It's insane.
All right.
And I hope we can see you tour in Scotland at some point. That'd be great.
Yes, I was actually coming to Edinburgh, but then this lockdown didn't happen. But
Yeah.
that show hopefully is being rescheduled whenever this thing fizzles out. And yeah, I definitely want to come your way as well.
Excellent. I'll make sure I get your autograph.
Awesome, man. Cool.
Thanks so much. I'll see you later.
Later, man.
Bye.
Cool. Alrighty. Australians, yeah. I love that sound. All right. Okay. Not that one, because I already responded to that. All right, cool. Don't have a name here, but just a thank you, no question. Well, thank you for thank you. All right, so Tampere was responded. Dude, okay, so this call I'm gonna make, I'm gonna be a little selfish here, guys. All right, let's see what happens. Did he pick up?
V.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Donnie, no dirty secrets or anything. You're live on air with me.
Oh, right on, right on.
Yes, what you doing, friend?
I'm just hanging out here, waiting for Special K to get back, getting ready to eat a little lunch.
All right. So I'm gonna introduce you to people, and I hope I'm doing justice.
Sure, man.
All right. So Donnie here is one of my oldest American friends and one of my oldest American fans who became a great friend, and we share, I don't know, a lot of good stories and a lot of similar things in music taste wise, and we both ride motorcycles, except I haven't done that in way too long a time. And I own, or at least have long-term loaned, borrowed Donnie's motorbike jacket that he once gave me after a club night in Washington, D.C. Right?
Yeah, you own that. That is yours. Sir.
Yeah. You know what? He's actually a selfish little prick because he gave it to me because he can't ride with it in anywhere. Well, I don't know, Northeast U.S. because he's run from the authorities with that jacket on one too many times.
I plead the Fifth Amendment, sir.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we Donnie came to my shows in DC. For instance, at Platinum back in the day. One time when I was going to the sound check, actually don't remember was I going in or coming out, but you were at the steps of Platinum, and we ended up talking, and I thought he was weirdo because he was hanging out there at that hour. Nobody was around, and I wasn't going to be playing in a long time, but he turned out to be a really cool guy. And back then I wasn't exactly at that time anymore volunteer firefighter, but we had that in common. Like he's an EMT and the firefighter that way, and we started talking about that and music. And next time I went to DC, we hung out again, and next time, and now we're 20-year friends or so.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. People always laugh when I tell them the story. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so how's the weather there now?
It's good. It's good. It's showing about 70 degrees Fahrenheit over
Nice.
here, and we're visiting Northern Virginia today, and I'll go into more detail later on offline. But yeah, we're hanging out. We're trying to stay off the Rona bus. And,
Yeah.
everything's kind of jacked up over here as well too, and so we've been stuck at home for over a month now with the kids and everything. Actually, they canceled all school
Yeah.
for the rest of the year. So,
Same here in Finland, I think now.
yep. So we're just hanging out and doing things that you've always wanted to do, like read that book or practice guitar or whatever.
Yeah. How's that going, by the way?
It's going really good.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it.
Got a
So-
mullet yet?
Huh?
Got a mullet yet?
Yeah, actually, my hair. I actually let my hair grow out. I'm trying to be the old headbanger, 16-year-old headbanger again.
Nice.
So, yeah,
So just keep that neck brace near.
right. I know, right? In my wheelchair, and my walker, it's all good.
Yeah. Awesome, man. What do you think of this, man? This is crazy. I'm a, I don't know, whatever, radio host / shrink DJ right now.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. It's a great way to to talk to people, talk to fans all around the world. Because really, what else are we gonna be doing other than staring at at the wall, watching the paint dry?
Indeed,
But
dude.
this is a fantastic way to engage people all throughout the world. And people always have questions about how things started and have evolved.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just using that time constructively. So funny thing is, I was only using Snapchat as far as like any social media, and I saw you on here, so I'm like, well, I guess we need to get Twitch and all the other stuff. So I got it, and
Nice.
give you a shout out to
Well,
my boy.
Yeah, gotta teach an old dog a couple of new tricks, man.
That's right.
Awesome.
Tricks have been learned.
Dude, give my best to Special K and the rest of the family. I'm gonna see if somebody else has something better to say than I do. And thanks for picking up. I'll try and catch up with you soon.
Sounds good, my brother. Say hi to the family too for me.
Will do. All right, later, bye.
Bro. See you, bro. Bye.
Nice. That's Donnie. Good guy. All right. All right. All right. Greetings from Quebec, Canada. Okay, so again, I won't call you if you don't want me to. All right, let's do that one. Let's see where we're calling now. Boom. Chuk, 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 chuk. Oh, and line's open. Are we there yet?
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
I almost
Hello.
know. I almost know how to use my technology here. Almost.
Oh, the same here. We're good.
Where are you?
Arden, North Carolina.
All right. Cool. I am in Finland, which is north in Europe, and I'm in the southern part.
Yes, I know. My husband's from Finland.
Oh, nice. Lucky lady.
Yes, his name is Riku.
Hey, all right. If Riku is listening, hello. Moi. Mitäs kuuluu?
Riku says hello. He's downstairs. He
All
says
right.
hello back.
So, do you speak Finnish?
Very little. I know most of the swear words.
Oh, well, hey, of course. Nice. Well, let's not do any of those. So,
No.
you know, it's in Finland. It's only 8 o'clock, and a little less there. So, kids
Like
are still
1
up.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Hey, mine's already grown. I'm done with that.
All right. Well, good for you. Mine are 10 and 2. So I gotta sort of try and act responsible here and there at least.
Yes, I understand. My daughter, when she was a year old, repeated a bad word and then called my mother that several times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing.
Nice. Yeah. If I can, I try to do mine in English, because the possibility of somebody here hearing our little ones cuss in English makes it sound less offending than in Finnish.
Yeah, we did the exact opposite. We told her she's going to swear at school when she was in school to swear in Finnish because no one would understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Smart.
Yes.
Cool.
We wanted to thank you for your awesome music, and I actually found a lot of your advice helpful because I'm a writer.
Okay.
And some of that is actually helpful, like kind of like just don't give up, keep trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think for me, there's great power in just accomplishment, like even tiny accomplishments. But when you have a writer's block or some sort of whatever you want to call it or whatever is going on, you feel like you can't get anything done. But what I like to do, not just in that situation, but for that situation, is that I write sort of sometimes maybe too meticulous to-do lists of tiny little things, because I get so much kicks out of ticking something off. So on a bad day, I could literally be like, I know I'm going to come to the studio and I know I'm going to do A, B, and C, whether I'll write them down or not, but I'll write them down, you know, laying in bed or before I come to the studio so that I can tick them off. And I know that sounds idiotic, but then I accomplish something because I tick them off. And sometimes a bigger task divided to several small things is that's very helpful, because then you can tick them off and you feel that you can accomplish stuff.
Yes, it's very true. It makes complete sense, actually. So.
Yeah. My wife sometimes laughs at me. She's asking, like, what am I writing? I'm just like, I'm writing down that I need to go to the toilet. Not exactly that, but something as trivial as, you know, what you would do anyways. But I just, that's one way of keeping myself functioning. So what kind of stuff do you write?
Paranormal romance.
Oh, wow. All right, cool.
So yeah, there's vampires, werewolves, all that.
Aliens?
I haven't done aliens yet.
Okay, so when you do, that was my idea, and 50%, you know.
Actually, I have someone I'm going to be co-authoring with, and he had an idea like that, so.
All right. Cool. Nice. All right. So what do you do with that? Do you self-publish? Do you have publisher? How does that work in your field?
I'm not published yet.
Okay.
I'm still in the working on it phase. We're down to the final draft.
All right. Nice.
And hopefully after that we'll start sending it off and we will see what happens. But it's something I've had in the works for many, many years.
Okay. Cool. Writing is something that I'm decent with, just writing small things, but like and stories or like descriptions of what happened, like, well, stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could write a book of some sort in a coherent way. I've been asked sort of about my career or artist stuff and whatnot. And maybe, you know, maybe one day I'll put stuff together and then somebody, you know, just compiles it to a book or whatever. But it's a huge undertaking. I appreciate somebody who can do it.
It's a lot of it is writing it different parts, and then you have to kind of patch it together and make one story out of it. That does happen. I won't say it doesn't, but
yeah,
it does.
I think you're absolutely correct. And I mean, just even like for me to write a long email or longish that has, you know, complex stuff that I have to somehow put in writing, I often realize that in one page I sometimes easily can or have to change the order of the paragraphs and whatnot. So my stuff is there, but it doesn't come out systematically or like chronologically or logically somehow. But then I have to edit myself, and it's not that I'm editing the sentences, but I'm editing the order, how it is most logical and flows. And that's one of the key things, because if you'd read it, the first draft through, you wouldn't just understand much of it. But if you put them in the right order, it's much more sensible.
Okay, so I do have one question.
Okay.
What is your favorite venue? You may have answered it before and maybe I missed it, but do you have a favorite venue?
Well, I don't have a favorite venue. There's many that are great that I really like. And then there are different kinds of venues. Like I played, I don't remember the name of the place right now, but I played in Ottawa in Canada several years ago. And that venue was small. I think we had maybe tops 200, but maybe 170 people. And it was a small, low room. But something about that room was so amazing. People were right, in my face, sort of right across the DJ table.
Yeah.
And not only the room, but the people were really into it. And I still remember that gig. I remember how it looked there. They didn't have fancy screens or crazy light rigs. They did have some lights and stuff, but it was just perfect as it was because how the night was. So that's often how it happens for me, is that it's not necessarily one single thing about one single venue, but it's the whole night that makes that venue the best, so to say. But then I just recently played again at the place called Sky in Salt Lake City in Utah. And that place has an amazing sound. The stage is big. There's great video wall. The crowd really likes their dance music. And I also have somewhat of a personal relationship with the Matt, who is guy called Matt, who is like the artist. I don't know what his title is, like the artist liaison or GM maybe. I don't know what his title is, but I've gone snowboarding with him and all that kind of stuff. So it's always a pleasure to go back to that place, for instance. What else? Church in Denver is great. I used to play a lot at the place called the Ruby Sky in San Francisco. It's not there anymore as Ruby Sky, but that was a great one. What else? There is a place called Home in Sydney, Australia, and also Ministry of Sound in Sydney. As a venue is amazing. But there's just, I could, keep on doing this, name places and, I forgot that. So it's more about basically how the night goes. Houston and Dallas has places called Stereo Live. It's the same ownership, and those Stereo Lives are amazing as well. So there are a couple.
Sorry.
All right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, now you got a long answer to one simple question.
Yeah, I was going to say that hopefully when all this an illness is over, you'll play closer to North Carolina. Like last time you were supposed to, my daughter came down with the flu, so we weren't able to go. But
which one was that? The Greenville one, or?
Greenville's like less than an hour from us, and Charlotte's about 2 hours.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, last time she had the flu, so we couldn't make it.
Aw, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's okay now that she's grown. We're now like, hey, we can do stuff on our own. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's great now.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. New chapter.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks so much for sending me the message, and
thank you for calling.
Please check back.
Of course.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
All right. Later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Nice. All right. Ooh, you saw me in Boston a few months ago, and it was incredible. Well, thank you so much. Boston was incredible, and many of us, you didn't see it, but I had a great meeting before the show during my sound check where I met some amazing boom whackers, and we hung out together at the sound check, and they played Sandstorm for me with their boom whackers, as you might have seen a viral video like a year, 2 years ago, and we finally got to meet the guys who made it. Look for boom whackers and Darude Sandstorm, and you'll find it somewhere. And so yeah, Boston last time was really, really awesome. The place is called Royale, and I'm so happy that I got to play there again. And I've actually played that same venue around 2001, I guess, the first time, and it was called Roxy at that time. Let's see. Oh, come on, thanks. Somebody amazing saying, I do have to say, man, you are one of the most hardworking and humble musicians that I would come across on social media and are always there for your fans. I respect that. Well, I respect you as well, and thank you. Much appreciated. Cool. All right. We're going to take one more call tonight, and then gonna call it a night. Let's just see one more. Leo Saunders, do I get irritated when people bring up Sandstorm? I don't. I only get irritated if stupid people bring Sandstorm up in a stupid way. But no, I mean, I'm proud of the track that started my career, gave me the possibility of doing basically my hobby becoming my profession, thing that I love doing, all of a sudden became this thing that I can expand my horizons with in so many different ways, seeing people around the world, seeing countries, places, clubs, hearing other DJs spin. In fact, I met my wife because of music at some point. So it changed my life in so many ways. And Sandstorm is the first thing really that started that snowball. All right, guys. So we're gonna do one more call. All right, now Chris, thanks, man. All right, we'll do that. Let's see. I don't think I called Canada yet, so let's see how this goes. All right, that is it. It's fine, all good. I'm gonna call Canada some other time. All right, dear fellow humans. I really, really sincerely liked this. This was cool. I am going to do this again if you guys want me to. Dial It In is going to happen again next Wednesday. And before that, I will do another stream on Friday where I'm going to be playing Sandstorm as the first track because we have a Sandstorm balcony jam or Kaikki järjestyy Sandstorm parvekebileet in Finland, our time at 6 p.m. and whatever that is elsewhere. 3 a.m. in Australia, daylight time, 9 a.m. PST, 12 EDT. And DJ about an hour or two after that. And then the next stream after that is Monday, 4 p.m. Finnish time. And we'll inform what time zones are and when related to that later. And the Monday one will be a production team stream. Sorry. I don't know exactly yet what I'm going to do production-wise, but what I'm going to be doing in general is either making music, producing something live here. You guys can hang out and maybe comment if you want to. Or I'm going to be showing one of my old tracks projects and show how I did something specific or how I did the whole thing. I can show you a piece of gear if you want. I can sample sounds from the Sub 37 or talk tips and tricks and so on. So that's on Monday. That's a production team. Tomorrow, actually, on Thursday, I'll be here for a couple of hours with my son. He's got a school assignment that is making a track with something like GarageBand, but I'm going to be working on. Oh, somebody's calling me. I'm going to be working on this track with him on Logic here, and we're gonna finish that to some sort of an arrangement tomorrow, and you can hang out and watch us do that as well if you want. But so Monday at 4 Finnish time, Wednesday 6 is this chat thing, and then Fridays at 6 p.m. Finnish time DJing. And we'll see if things go well, and if I have time and energy, maybe I'd do like Saturday or Sunday little DJ sesh as well, but we'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much. And somebody was asking for this. Yay. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.